Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, I want you to pay a very keen attention to this video. This video is concerning a statement that MURKOMEN issued. And MURKOMEN appears to be saddened by the reaction of Kenyans, how Kenyans keep attacking William Ruto. MURKOMEN is telling us that Kenyans are being unfair to William Ruto, and also telling us that Kenyans have not given William Ruto time to deliver. So just pay attention to this video.
I find it unfair that many people, especially the church, the media, and our critics, are criticizing President William Ruto, not based on the facts, on the things we are doing, but it's a criticism that is laced with tribalism. I find it unfair that President William Ruto is not being compared with President Uhuru Kenyatta, is not being compared with President Mwai Kibaki, he is not even being compared with President Jomo Kenyatta. Because of the disease and mentality of tribalism, every critic of William Ruto is comparing him with Daniel Arap Moi, as if there was only one president before him. It is unfair to find fault on the president based on where he comes from or comparing with a president who came from this community before. Let's criticize him for the facts as they are. Compare President William Ruto with his predecessor the first 2 years. Compare President Ruto with President Mwai Kibaki the first 2 years.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen. That is MURKOMEN offering his own reaction, and this is just a continuation of the attacks which have been seen between Kenyans and the government reacting to the attacks on Kenyans. And we saw what Asanjo said, we saw what Junet Mohammed said, and now we are hearing what CS MURKOMEN is saying. This statement by MURKOMEN, I want us to expound it, ladies and gentlemen. But first, before we do that, please just go below in the comment section and like this video. It's so important, because when you like this video, that is the only YouTube shares our content. Subscribe to our channel if you are not subscribed before, and to existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. One thing that the CS MURKOMEN is forgetting is that this tendency of constantly criticizing the government, they are the ones who started it. Remember, during Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, 2017-2022, the camp led by MURKOMEN and the team are the ones that started this kind of criticism. They were criticizing everything. And the Kenyans learned about this way of criticizing the government from people like MURKOMEN.
The greatest achievement of the President of Kenya is to demonstrate to the people of this country that I have removed my majority leader. I'm a big man. Mr. Speaker, the President is already a big man. I am just but a son of a squatter, born and brought up in Embobut. To be a subject of his discussion over and over again, I want to say, Mr. President, now therefore deliver for the people of Kenya. MURKOMEN is out of the way.
So MURKOMEN has quickly forgotten that they are the ones who set this pace of criticizing the government. Why? Because when Uhuru was in power, they constantly criticized Uhuru left and right and center, and they never gave Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta an opportunity to deliver. So they have been good listeners. Kenyans have been good listeners. That is why I want to take you to a particular video about a reaction from a Kenyan citizen, a lady. You will be shocked. You know, nobody seems to give a damn about this government, really. From the reactions there, I can tell that that is the case.
I have an opinion on State House. I've never been to State House. The closest I've been to State House is State House Girls High School. I'm a proud alumni of State House Girls High School. But let me tell you, just because you haven't been somewhere doesn't mean you cannot have an opinion about it. And that fence of ours that was close to, I think it bordered the State House, but maybe quite a distance from the actual house in State House. Now, Mr. President, what do I want to say? Just because I haven't been somewhere doesn't mean I do not have an opinion about it. Okay? So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that your lease, 2027, when will the elections be? For easier logistics, start vacating it 3 months prior. You know why? There's this president I saw the other day who was a one-term president, just like you. And mark this video. You will use it for reference. And he started begging the incoming president-elect to give him time to leave the State House, to pack his things. So save yourself. I feel like you ought to even vacate way sooner. But then again, who am I? I've never been to State House. I'm not an occupant, but I know my vote counts to who will be the next occupant of that house. The same way our voices were heard way beyond these borders. And now Adani is not a deal anymore. And when I mean way beyond these borders, I mean it was God's doing. Yeah? So most Kenyans might not have stepped close to that airport. But let me tell you, this is not 1990s or 80s. Have you seen Kenyans? Have you met Kenyans? Our global and local tourism sector is thriving. What are you talking about? Kenyans are well traveled. We are well educated. And I usually tell people, just because you haven't gotten into that aircraft and left this country or boarded an aircraft from one point to another, you can relieve these things through your phone. And now that takes me to Bwana CS, Bwana Waziri. You must be delulu thinking there's no power in social media. You were there. You actually holding that position, courtesy of men and women, young men and women, Gen Z to be specific, who went to the streets and deals were done. And now you have this position. Yes, social media is powerful. Now let me break it down to you. People are applying jobs through social media. People are getting brand deals through social media. Tasa hata wacha tukuje matters of the heart, mapenzi. Through social media. Keki zinakatwa, marorashio zinafanywa because people met through social media. What are you telling me? And most of y'all will go home because of social media. Gone are those days ati rungu nyayo huwa watu wanashtuka. Sai hatuna KBC sijui na KTN peke yake. Ile ti unajua station imeisha ama ndio iko karibu kuanza. Those days. Gone are those days. Yes, some people might have scored D's, but D does not stand for Delulu. Come on, what happened to self-respect? What happened to acquiring knowledge? Think beyond your nose. See beyond your nose. Wakenya hawaogopi. Wakenya hawaogopi. And let me tell you, yesterday I had an incident, but I'll not talk about that incident. And I'm telling these young men and women and boys out here, tukipewa hizo vijipesa, take it. Kama ni mkutano, msi show up, wacha waongeleshane. Soon mtaanza kufanya campaign hapa through social media because watu wamechoka. The only reason why people show up for all these things is because money is on the table. And yes, you're doing a good job in making sure resources are not getting down to the common mwananchi. People are there because of their problems. They do not like you. They do not support you. They're not patriotic. Our very own Raila Odinga is being decampaigned at such a high level platform. We should be flying the flag of our country and be proud and be patriotic and support him. But what is happening? And then you will stand here and tell people that hakuna social media. Hati nchi haijengwi kwa mtandao. Nchi karibu ivunjwe kwa mtandao. You knew it. I dare you. If we were not about to make history in this country, why were young people being killed? Why did people disappear? I dare you to answer me that question. I dare you. You knew we were at the verge of making history. Not even a one-term president. A couple of days president. Barely 365 times 2. Had he even finished 365 days? I'm not so sure. So let me tell you, they will sell you fear. But what fear haven't you seen? You've gone to bed hungry. So many people out here are barely making it. So many people out here are barely surviving. So let me tell you, let no one sell you fear.
But I don't think Murkomen is right to complain. I saw what Joe said, and Joe has been forced to withdraw his statement. I saw what UNET said, and UNET has not attempted to again make that statement. So what this means is that these people are feeling it. The big concern here is, when will the government start delivering on the pledges, on the manifesto, on the things they promised Kenyans? That is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. I think that is where Murkomen should channel his complaints on. How will they start delivering on Kenyans, the promises they made to Kenyans? It is not the issue of just criticizing. Kenyans are criticizing the government because the government is not listening. And most likely this issue started last year, when they refused to totally listen to the government. When they refused to totally listen to the people. Even when you take matters to the court, these courts again side with the government. So that's why the Kenyans realize the only way they can talk is through social media. And that is what CS Joe is trying to make Kenyans stop. And Kenyans are vowing that they're not going to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, just go below in the comment section and offer a reaction regarding the statement from Murkomen. Do you think Murkomen is right to blame Kenyans for this level of criticisms? Just go below in the comment section and you can offer a reaction on that. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.